Hi, this is Larry, welcoming you to this lesson in Get a Great Job in 2 months. Today we're going to talk about identifying your purpose and passion, the first key to getting a great job. This will involve 1, discovering your calling, 2, exploring your favorite skills, and 3, writing your employer description. Let's begin with talking about discovering your calling instead of just a job or a career. There are some great books on this. I'd encourage you to look at The Zookeeper's Situation by Jeff Thompson and Bunderson. Most people, when they start looking for a job, they're faced with actually 3 options. 1 is looking for just a job. It's just, this is what I'm looking at, short term, long term, but I'm just focusing on the job. Some people are looking for a career. It's a series of jobs that will lead them onward and upward to greater fulfillment. But the highest level are those people who are looking for their purpose, their passion, what Kim Cameron and Jeff Thompson call their calling. And this is what we recommend that you really take a look at. Am I looking for a job, a career, or a calling? There are tools to help you to be able to do that. The second thing is to explore your favorite skills. All of us have things that we love to do, and we have things we dislike doing, but unfortunately we're really good at it. In this approach, what we're wanting you to do is to identify and do what you love to do and love what you do, to make that bigger on the job and a bigger portion of the job while diminishing the number of things you dislike doing that you have to do on that job. We'll talk about how to outline those, but that's part of what we're looking at, is identifying your favorite skills. It used to be we would identify ourselves by our industry. I'm a railroad person, or I'm work for Ma Bell. Then we started defining ourselves by our careers, and we started saying, I'm an accountant, I'm a teacher, I am a salesperson. Today, we're beginning to define ourselves by what we love to do. For example, one guy always said he was a finance guy, kept getting finance jobs. Trouble was, he hated finance. So he began to describe himself as, I'm one of those people who loves to find the problem in processes, whether it's manufacturing processes or systems. I love finding the bottlenecks and managing the team to resolve them. For example, at one company, we identified one major bottleneck in the production flow. It took us 18 months to resolve it, but when we did, it increased revenues by $400 million a year. Now that's doing what you love to do. The next thing is the tools that will help you identify those skills include a wonderful, simple one that you can order online. Richard Nodell developed these card sorts where it has you lay out what you are highly proficient at, competent at, little or no skill, and then redefining those same columns into rows based on what you thoroughly enjoy, you enjoy doing, you like doing, you dislike doing, and you really don't like doing. Another option is to look at a number of job descriptions. Just print job descriptions that interest you and highlight those things that you love to do. I'd suggest doing this with 5 to 10. Download them, print them, highlight the parts that you love to do. Also, ONET Online can help you. That's onetonline.net. And they can help you also identify what kinds of skills are being used in jobs. Once you have that, we're going to move to the last step, which I call writing our own employer description. Now, to understand this, we're going to begin by talking about how companies use job descriptions. They prepare job descriptions so that they can define what the ideal person in that job would be. They define the tasks that they're going to be performing. They define the experience they want them to have, the education they want them to have, and they create this ideal. Now, they know they're not going to find everything perfect, but their goal is, as they are recruiting, they are comparing people to that ideal description. They look at that person, they look at the ideal, and they look at who comes closest in their minds. What we recommend is that you prepare an employer description outlining the ideal position or calling for you, your dream job. Now, this dream job can have multiple parts. We're going to talk about 6 essential elements of this job that you will outline in your description. The first one is, once again, the skills that you love to do and that you want to spend more time at, while explaining and those that you want to diminish because you dislike them. But the first part is describing the tasks that you really would love to perform. Second, you look at the industry, because the industry can modify how those tasks are performed. A simple example is if the tasks are managing people, being a manager, look how that job will change depending if it's in manufacturing, in banking, or food service. Each of those industries will create a different feel, a different way that you're working, a different set of people that you're supervising. So the industry is separate from the tasks as the second key essential element of this outline. The third element is the size of the company. Do you want to work for a startup? Do you want to work for a small company? Do you want to work for a mid-sized company, a large company, or a global company? Because once again, the size will impact that job. People who are working in global companies typically are put into small boxes with limited responsibilities because they have so many people. Where small companies, they just can't afford that. And so people in smaller companies have a broader range of responsibilities because the company doesn't have as many people to share with. The fourth element is the ownership. Who owns the organization you are working for? Ownership can be stockholders, they can be private individuals, they can be self. You may own the company. They can be we the people. Now that's the term for governments. Those are those organizations that technically we the people own. And finally, legally, there is a class of companies that nobody can own, and those are called nonprofits. So you look at the tasks I want to perform, the industry I want to be in, the size, and who owns it, because all of those will modify that job. The next part is, where do you want to do it? And the where is in both geography, meaning country, state, city, but it is also the locale. Do you want to work metro, urban, suburban, rural, virtual? So you look at where you want to do, the geography and the locale. And the final and most important one is to look at the environment. How does this company treat its people? The environment includes such things as the physical layout. Is that all the people are in desks in one column in rows and it's a huge typing pool, for example? Does it have separate offices where people are isolated? Is it using workstations where there are bullpens where people are collaborating, or cubicles where people are in by themselves? Those will impact your ability and love of the job. Also, the culture involves the written and the unwritten rules. It involves how people interact with each other. Is this one of those companies that has a game room in the middle of everything where people can go and play video games and pool and foosball, etc.? Or is this a company where they do barbecues all the time? The culture. All of those things, and a big one is the management style. And the management style may be organizational, but it may also be the team. And there are excellent tools for identifying that we will cover. So these are the 6 essential elements that you're going to write down. Don't take a long time on this. This is a page and a half document. It can be done in a week, but spend time thinking it through. Then you will use this to compare job opportunities that come your way and offers. You will look at the dream job and you will look at the offer to see how closely they match. First step in getting a great job in 2 months is to compare and identify exactly what your purpose and your passion is.